During our everyday lives, we use many different kinds of networks to access many different kinds of services. Our smartphone, our personal computers, and other devices access the internet in very different ways. In this video, we are going to review some of these network connections and what kind of information can be sent over them. Imagine you're accessing a service that requires you to provide a combination of username and password. This is one of the most common methods to access the services that are provided through the web browser. In this case, you are using your laptop that is connected through a wired connection, generally called Ethernet, to your home router. Then, your home router connects to the server where the service runs through your internet service provider, or ISP. Imagine yourself sitting on your desk, typing your username and password, and pressing the login button. This will send your credentials through the wired connection to the server, which will obviously verify them. During this process, sensitive information, your username and password, travels through the Ethernet cable, the routed circuitry, and all the intermediate infrastructure between your home and the final destination server. In each of these segments, your data can be subject to many threats. For instance, someone with physical access to the wired connection could look into the data that is being sent through your home computer and the router. Additionally, information could be read or modified at any time in any of the infrastructure elements between your home router and the final destination server. Imagine yourself now sitting with your laptop in a public wireless network offered by a cafe or any other public space. You're about to finalize an online purchase by entering and submitting your credit card details. In this scenario, your laptop connects to a router through a wireless network that is available to our users of the public space. Then, the router connects in the same way to the internet through an internet service provider and reaches the final server where the purchase is going to be made. When you submit your credit card details, these travel from your laptop to the router through the wireless network, actually the air, and from the router to the final destination through the internet infrastructure. In this case, the data transmitted from the router to the final destination is subject to the same threats we previously mentioned. However, in this scenario, data is being transmitted through a shared media, air. A simple wireless car will give an attacker access to a network, enabling him to potentially eavesdrop or execute other attacks over the transmitted data. Our final example shows how most mobile phones connect to the internet today. In this scenario, two smartphones connect to a cellular network to exchange messages. Both smartphones use different cell towers to access their internet service providers. Using this internet connection, both smartphones can exchange messages using a specific messaging app server. When one of these users presses the Send Message button, the app encapsulates the message, and the phone sends it through the cellular network and the internet to the app servers. The server looks for the recipient and forwards that message to its final destination, the other smartphone. In this scenario, adversaries with access to wireless equipment could potentially read or modify the messages being sent or received at each of the communication ends. Additionally, any infrastructure element between both devices could potentially read or alter the exchanged messages. This includes also the app server, which should only act as a message forwarder. Remember, every day we exchange many different kinds of sensitive information. This includes login credentials, financial information, and personal data, among other things. This information is being sent through networks with very different characteristics. These can be wired networks, local wireless networks, or even cellular networks, to name a few. Each of these networks present different challenges and problems when protecting the messages that are being sent through them. In the following videos, we will present some of the protocols that allow us to protect these connections.